Welcome back, you guys. I'm Nini FC, this is Blue Lions TV, and welcome to the match preview of our upcoming game tomorrow at 5:30 PM UK time against Burnley. But before I get into things, I want to explain to you guys the format for today's video. I'm going to start off by talking about the press conference, giving my thoughts and opinions with the predicted lineup for tomorrow's game, and to end things, I'm joined by a very special guest, Vizza, the FIFA YouTuber, who happens to be a Burnley fan. So he's going to give us his thoughts and opinions on the game, and he's going to let us know the danger men from Burnley. We start with things, and Lampard was asked about the injury situation with players in the team right now. Lampard said that Ruben is well out, but for me, hopefully we see Ruben at the end of next month or maybe at the start of December. Once this guy returns back to the team, you guys, that's what I need to say. But anyway, moving on to Rudiger. Lampard said that Rudiger is not going to be ready for this weekend, but he is getting closer. Christensen and Ross Barkley are still out, and N'Golo Kante is training by himself. So that's the entire injury situation with players in the team right now. Moving on, and Lampard was asked about Christian Pulisic. Now, I'm going to warn you guys, you might not like what Lampard says. But anyway, Lampard says that Pulisic's form recently deserves him of a starting place. However, other players have also played well. Lampard said that he was pleased with the impact Pulisic's made in the past few games. At the end though, he declares that Willian has been our best player these past 4 or 5 games. That's very interesting, and when you look into stats, Lampard can actually back up what he's saying. Most times Willian is scoring the highest statistically, so it's no surprise why Lampard, a manager, is going to notice those small details that maybe us fans aren't going to pay too much attention to. Now, could this mean that Pulisic will make another sub appearance in tomorrow's game? From the sounds of things, possibly, but who knows? Continuing on, Lampard said that he does respect Burnley. Lampard says that he doesn't know if the club can conduct any business this January, but come on, even if Lampard did know, he's not going to admit that. Continuing on, Lampard admitted that he would like Tammy and Tomori to sign new long-term deals, but says it's up to the club. And to end things, Lampard said that he's pleased with the past 2 clean sheets, as well as overcoming the difficult encounters against Newcastle and Ajax. And that's because against Newcastle, they parked the bus. That was our first test this season against a team like that. And for the game against Ajax, they're a team that press very aggressively. So it's no surprise why Lampard is going to be happy that we got clean sheets in both games. Now, let's move on to the predicted lineup for today's video. I'm going to start with the lineup I'd like to see. As you guys can see, this lineup contains Reece, this lineup does contain Pulisic, Mason Mount and Hudson-Odoi. This lineup contains Emerson with Tammy up front and the usual suspects in midfield and in defence. Now the reason why I do want to see Reece is because if we do happen to have the ball out wide and we need quality delivery, Reece James is our guy. The guy is an exceptional crosser of the ball, and he has the type of delivery that could really help us against Burnley, and most importantly, it could really help Tammy Abraham. The most exciting thing that I do want to see in tomorrow's game is that combinational play between Emerson and Hudson-Odoi. Even though I have praised Alonso for his good defending in these past few games, I still feel like he does bottleneck the team's attack because most times in the final third, he's losing the ball way too easily, or he's not effectively linking up with Callum Hudson-Odoi. And of course, that attack with Mason Mount, Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi, as I was seeing in the final 30 minutes against Ajax, that link-up play with those guys was looking pretty good. I like to see us cultivate this, let them grow, let them prosper. Against Burnley, they could be a good opposition to test these guys out. However though, I told you the lineup I'd like to see. But let's look at the lineup that Frank Lampard might pick in tomorrow's game. And as you guys can see, it's looking a bit different. Now in this team, I think Lampard is going to use Willian. I think Lampard is going to use Aspie. But when it comes to Pulisic, maybe he might start over Callum. But I think that Pulisic might make another appearance from the bench. Now before we get angry, let's try and understand things from Lampard's perspective. Against Burnley, we understand that they're a team that are very physically strong. They're a team that are very aggressive as well. If we're using so many young players against them who lack experience at this level, which doesn't imply they're not good enough, then maybe Lampard might think that he needs some experienced players in the first team. Players like Willian, for example, very strong, especially in the final third. We'll need him to keep the ball and keep it moving. And with Aspie as well, he's another experienced defender who's going to know what to do because he's played against Burnley so many times. Now, let's not get too upset. This could be the lineup that starts the game, but once the second half comes, once it gets to the 50th or 60th minute, depending on the context of the game, I'm sure we're going to see a lot of the young guys playing in the game. Anyway, now that the predictor lineup part is out the way, we move on to the final segment for today's video. I've been joined by a very special guest. His name goes by Vizza, and he really is a great FIFA YouTuber. He's also a Burnley fan, and let's hear what he has to say.
Hi guys, I'm the only guy wishing off on Burnley on the entire internet. Basically, I'm the only guy that you know.
If you can tell us how you feel about Burnley's chances against us in tomorrow's game.
I mean, if any team in top six should at least know not to underestimate us, it'd be Chelsea. It's a love and hate relationship with you guys that we don't really beat you that often, but like it's usually gonna scrappy draw from you guys. But when it comes to playing at home, you guys usually are well. We've never beat you in home in the Premier League, so you've had a good record against us. So it's weird because I feel like you guys are very on and off sometimes, and I feel like with how young your team is, I feel like it's gonna be a very, very weird experience for them. I don't think they're kind of used to. I mean, people say we play physical, and I say, yeah, I guess we do play physical, but we also play very, we're very organized, very disciplined. So every single thing is all thought out a million times ahead, and there's a plan A, plan B, plan C in every single run and pass and play. And so I feel like it's gonna be very tough for you guys to begin with. It's all about whoever scores first goal. I think it's one of those kind of games that whoever scores first goal, if we score it, then I feel like we'll be able to at least see as a draw. If we outscore, I'll be very surprised if we get a result from the game at all. So
yeah, exactly.
Thoughts about the entire game so far.
Yeah, man, and you made a good point, of course, when you play against Burnley. For a young team like us, Burnley are a very difficult test. You guys are very good defensively, very disciplined as well, and very physical on top of that. And you guys, you know how to make it difficult for your opponents to play their normal game. And I think for us, it's going to be a great education in regards to learning how to play against, different systems and styles like Burnley's. But yeah, how are you feeling though? Of course, you guys played against Leicester in the last game, losing 2-1. It felt like you guys looked quite good though. So how do you think the team are going to cope with that loss? Do you think they'll come back with confidence, or you're not expecting too much?
Well, I mean, if you look back on the results this year so far, like there's not been a single result that you're like, oh, that's a bit weird. That like we've got wins when we are expected to get wins, we've lost when we expect to lose. Arsenal away, Liverpool home, and Leicester away. We show a good side, but to be fair, like we got a VAR call. The goal went in and it got called off because of VAR for a apparent foul. You can look back in it if you've seen it. It's very, very very.
Yeah.
Incredibly harsh. I can kind of see why, because VAR, any touch, any fouls, apparently a foul nowadays. Any touch is a penalty. It makes no sense. Everyone knows my thoughts on VAR, that I feel like it's just a bit too unnecessary sometimes.
Yeah.
But like we've been good, been good this year, beating Norwich at home, and then like all big sides that we played against, we give them a fight, but like we just can't compete against like Liverpool now. So
yeah.
Well, I believe that Chris Wood won't be in contention for this game, especially at the start anyway. So it'll be likely chance of Ashley Barnes, which you all know well about a lot. And you guys love Ashley Barnes. I know you guys do.
Yeah, I know. Like, of course, a lot of fans still can't forgive him for what he did against Matic. Actually, it's Matic. I don't think most fans even care about him anymore. Yeah, no one cares about him anymore, to be honest. So I think he's okay. But you know what? I want to ask you, who's your key men for tomorrow's game? I'm guessing you're going to say O'Neill. He's going to be a key man.
I mean, O'Neill has been decent this year. He's not done much wrong, not that much amazing. He gets balls in the box and he's very good down the line. He's very, very weak in his right foot. So like I'm good mates with him. He's a friend of the channel as well. Like,
oh, nice. That's it.
With him, played against him 2 days ago. He actually beat me 3-0.
Is he good? Is he good? So not that good.
He's decent.
He's decent, yeah.
But I'm an Xbox player. I go on PS4.
Same. I'm an Xbox. Yeah, the controls on Xbox, like for me, like I got like a strong grip, I got strong hands. I can't hold no flimsy stuff. Yeah, I need something sturdy.
I know.
Exactly.
PS4, they're for people with baby hands.
Oh my god! The only way I can even play my PS4 is because I bought a custom controller. That's the only way.
Well, so on about the game though.
Yeah.
O'Neill's very good. Running down the line, gets a lot of bots. Not the best on his weak foot. So if you guys can make sure he does not get on his weak foot, he'd be kind of nullified. But our main man, very underrated player, which I rate a lot, is Ashley Westwood. That fantastic man. He's so good in terms of the simple stuff. When you want to pass it off, he passes it. We've had players before, like younger players. So let's say, for example, Nkudu, he used to be at Spurs, now he's at
the winger.
Yeah, I never really appreciated a winger that knows exactly when to pass it off, when to dribble, when to shoot. And he was a perfect example that he didn't really know when was the right time to do stuff. And our players, they always kind of know when is the right time to commit or when to not. So that's I kind of main man in midfield. That Westwood, I believe, will give you guys a good shout. However, our defense is what we're best known for, which is that we make sure we drive all our opponents down wide, try and cross it in, and we usually clear it out. We don't really allow you guys to have like a shot kind of in front of goal, really, which is kind of funny to say because I think last year you beat us 4-0 at home, so I may not be able to say much, but we always have like that kind of one or two weird games that we just are not on it at all. But I believe this game will be like, I'd be surprised if there's more than 2 goals. Like I think it's a 1-0 either way, this game for me.
Honestly, it could go that way, but I do feel a bit confident because in our last game against Newcastle, I think Newcastle are a bit similar to you guys when it comes to defending off the ball. You guys, both teams are very on point on their day. But what we did,
Steve Bruce's manager, though, Steve Bruce is nothing on Sean.
That's what I mean. Like, similarity is not the same. But with us, we're a team. When we played against Newcastle, we weren't crossing the ball. Now Newcastle were forcing us out wide. Lampard told the team, do not play any crosses unless you have to. Keep the ball moving from left to right. And eventually we got that goal against Newcastle. So I think we might use the same approach against you guys for tomorrow's game. And I feel a little bit more confident because if we don't play that way, if you guys disrupt our game, it could be very difficult because guys like Mason Mount, even though very good pressing, they're not physically the strongest. Someone like a Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi, let's say they get fouled a few times, are they going to be able to get back up and keep playing? I mean, they still are very young. So you guys could have that advantage from a physical point of view because, sometimes we do tend to be a bit weaker against stronger teams. So, if we're not on point.
I never want to say that we're aggressive or dirty. I never want to say we're dirty because we don't really make fouls.
I think strong, just strong.
It's just that, like, I guess when it comes to headers in the box and stuff like that, we're very good at stuff like that. And we're not like a Arsenal that can capitulate a lot. Which, we never are kind of like that kind of team, unless we play against Everton on Boxing Day. I don't like Everton at all. But I feel like you're kind of, especially wider players, so Hudson-Odoi and Pulisic, and I mean, who's your likely front line? Because you play against Ajax midweek, so what's the point now?
Well, you know what? I think we might see Pulisic, Mason, and Hudson-Odoi all together. So that's what the entire fan base is hoping to see in tomorrow's game. Yeah, that's the dream. I think it might happen tomorrow.
I know that Williams not your dream. I know that Williams has. I know a lot of Chelsea fans, and no one seems to like him. I know there's you don't mind him. He's just okay, and I think everyone just hates him, and I kind of don't get why everyone hates him. I know you may not like him, but I don't know. I see a lot of hatred towards that man, which is a bit of
Yeah, I mean, you know what football's like. It's really dribble sometimes. If you really ask someone to break down why they hate him, they probably can't do it. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But you know what? To end things, man, give me your score predictions for the game tomorrow. How do you honestly see things going?
As a Burnley fan or as a neutral?
As a Burnley fan and then as a neutral afterwards.
As a Burnley fan, I'd be more than happy with a draw. So I'll happily go with a 1-1 draw for me. As a Burnley fan, it'd be very unrealistic to say that I think we're going to win because you guys are in good form. You guys are doing better than what I thought you guys would be. I felt like this could be like a bye season for you guys. So you're doing fantastic from what I think any Chelsea fan can really say because, it's very experimental for you guys and it's very exciting for you for the future. But as a neutral fan, I'm expecting probably at least I just want to say 1-0 Chelsea. I think it's a Newcastle game that you guys will struggle in the first half. I mean, one thing I can guarantee: we 0-0 half time. It's always 0-0 half time. Most of these big teams, So I'll say be 0-0 half time. Then second half, you probably get a free kick routine, and it may be 1-0 to Chelsea, and then you may get it out because like Chris Wood with us, I doubt he'll be starting. So with him out because he's that kind of main man right now. If Ashley Barnes steps up massively,
and Rodriguez, them two up front together.
We've not really seen that much of those two together this year, so I don't think they've really gelled that well.
Yeah.
Because Ashley Barnes is very, like he used
Yeah,
to
of
do
course.
well, but
Gets about.
he gets better people, and J-Rod he's a decent finisher, but like not got that much pace or dribbling ability. So
Yeah.
neutral, I'll say 1-0 Chelsea. As a Burnley fan, I'll say 1-1.
Okay, cool. Thanks for that. You guys, my score prediction is going to be, I'm going to go for 2-0. Now, the only thing that I'm really worried about from Burnley is set pieces, because we are not good at set pieces. I think it's because we're young, and that's the main reason. I think from set pieces, you need a lot of experience and strength as well. And to be able to read that danger, our guys can't do it just yet. And if Burnley are able to regularly get corners and free kicks, it could be a bit hard in tomorrow's game. But anyway, you guys, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. You'll see me guys tomorrow for the match review and for other content as well, so stay tuned for that. I'm Nini FC, this is Blue Lions TV. Catch you man in a bit.